Quality Matters Standard 3.3 states that specific and descriptive criteria are provided for the evaluation of learners' work and are tied to the course grading policy. It means that learners are provided with a clear and complete description of the criteria used to evaluate their work. This could be in the form of a checklist, rubric, or other type of clear descriptive criteria. The evaluation criteria are stated up front at the beginning of the course and align with or match the learning objectives. In other words, the expectations of the learning objectives are reflected in the criteria used to score the assessment. An important part of the standard is ensuring that the description or statement of criteria provides learners with clear guidance on the instructor's expectations and on the required components of coursework and participation. A key question is whether or not the student will understand what is required and what level of proficiency is expected. Equally important is that the criteria give learners the information they need to understand how a grade on an assignment or activity will be calculated. Just listing criteria and descriptions of proficiency is not enough. Learners need to see how those items translate into their score on the assessment. This rubric includes criteria that measures the components of the objectives, identifies different levels of proficiency by explaining the difference between what novice and expert learning looks like, and it includes point values associated with each level of proficiency. Learners should be able to understand how the grade on this assignment will be calculated. While this rubric does provide levels of proficiency and associates points with each level, all of the descriptive criteria is lumped together in one area. This will make scoring difficult. What are the knowledge and skills that the student is supposed to know? Are there 5 of them? 2 of them? Students will have a difficult time determining how the grade was assigned. This rubric includes criteria that measures components of the objectives, identifies different levels of proficiency by explaining what the difference between novice and expert learning looks like, and includes point values associated with each level of proficiency. Note that the criteria are weighted based upon their importance. Points are identified at each level of proficiency so learners can see how their grade was determined. This rubric identifies criteria that is aligned with the learning objectives, and it identifies the points possible for each criteria. However, it does not provide descriptions for differing levels of proficiency. What does an expert description of the problem look like? What does a novice hypothesis look like? Learners would not know what is expected of them, nor will they know how their grade was earned. This overview of Quality Matters Standard 3.3 was created by TCC's Distance Learning and Academic Technology Office in January 2015.